can't push that thing.
How's everybody doing tonight? I hope you're all warm and safe and off the roads and at home or stuck at work. That pays. Being at home does not. Here in League City, Texas, we're getting down to about 22 tonight. Tom and Christopher are with us here. I'll bring them in just a second. They are both getting colder than I am, and they are more than welcome to it. I had broken pipes in 2018, and we were without water for 3 weeks, and that was on the sucky side of sucking. So anyway, let me go ahead and bring Christopher and Tom in here and see what we all got to talk about tonight. There's my buddy Tom.
How y'all doing?
And there's my grandson, Mountain Man Christopher in Tennessee.
Yeah, we got almost a foot of snow today.
A foot?
Yep.
Man, that's a lot of snow. But it is fun to play in. Sucks to drive in when it starts dry or melting. But some people, and I bet you're one of them, have fun driving in that crap, don't you?
Yes, I do. A couple donuts in the parking lot's a good place to be.
Oh, there's Garnet. Let me get Garnet in here. Shrink you down to fit with everybody else.
Hey, I'm on stage.
Honey, I shrunk the Garnet.
You're on what?
It said I was on stage.
Oh, on stage. Oh,
break out $2.
Yeah. You wearing a G-string? Hey, Art, how's it going? Glad to see you here, buddy. We got Art from Art Code Drone Solutions. Hey, Art. I think it was last time, maybe the time before, you said that you've got some information from your dad who served in World War II. Do I remember that right? Because if so, I'd like to bring you on next time, if you're willing to come on next time. And you can share some of your dad's experiences or whatever information you've got. Oh, I just heard myself talking. Yee.
Yeah.
That must be coming from you, Christopher. I guess it's like a feedback. I can hear myself.
No, it's me. Hang on.
Oh, it's you.
Yeah. I just use my phone.
The technical spy guy is giving feedback.
Yeah.
So did you forward this link on to Elisa? Elisa?
No.
No.
I haven't talked to her lately.
Oh, you hadn't? Okay.
No.
So Tom said, well, Tom has some information he wants to share with all of us, but Kylie's not here. Do you want to go ahead and do that, Tom, or see if she breaks in later?
Well, maybe she'll read it later and see. No, I just had an idea. You know, y'all do the drone videos over Battleship and different things around Galveston. I've been to a place a couple of years ago, and I passed it again this weekend, a Civil War battleground in Vicksburg.
Oh, in Vicksburg?
Yes, in Vicksburg.
Yeah, I don't see myself ever getting up that way. And Tom's Garnet's a water dog. I don't know if he'll get that far.
Yeah.
Inland
if it was on
or
the
not.
coast somewhere, I would go.
And it's
I
not
don't
too
go
far.
inland very
So,
often.
yeah. But it's a really interesting place. It's really neat to go visit that place.
I went to Lookout Mountain in Chattanooga one time, where I can't remember now. I think it was the Confederates that had some artillery up on top of Lookout Mountain and were shelling northern ships as they were trying to come down the river. Can't remember now. That was a long time ago, but they still had artillery there and, a lot of historical things there to look at. I really enjoyed it, but all that's a long way away. And Tom and Garnet are both world travelers. I'm not. I'm kind of grounded with an anchor at home these days with my dog, whose appointment got canceled. It was tomorrow, but that got canceled because of weather.
Jeez.
So having to Liv looking forward to that. It's going to stretch on another day. Supposedly they're going to get us in on Wednesday, but every day, I run through it in my head. I've done it with other dogs in the past, but the last time was probably 30 years ago. But I run through it in my head, and been having to live with that. I'd rather just get it done and over with and stop running through it in my head how it's going to go. But new subject. Christopher, tell us, what you're in Knoxville? Is that right?
I am.
And what's your weather? Tell us about your weather.
Well, I'll look at the thermostat out here. It says right now we are at 26. It's about a foot of snow. And the roads are pretty bad.
I bet they are.
I'm sure we'll have a couple sirens show up eventually.
Oh, I'm sure you will. Those guys probably do not look forward to days like this. Art, I will send you an invite to next week. So prepare some of that info, unless you already know it by heart, whatever. Just wanted to give you a warning, but I'll send you an invite next week. Not very good at doing it on the spur. I'm not trained enough at this yet.
Well, AJ had a good weekend.
Yeah, y'all went to the dog show, right?
Yeah, we was in Columbus, Georgia.
How'd y'all do there?
AJ got 2 first place with Miho, a second place with Miho, and a second place with Jelly, and a best junior handler reserve, which means a second place. So we had a really good weekend for him.
That's pretty awesome. Are those things for him? Are those ribbons or trophies, or what are they?
It's ribbons and points. He wants to be in the top 10 in the country this year. So we're going to try to do that. Right now, after the first show, he's leading the country. So he's just tickled to death today.
Yeah, I bet he is. Was he living with you when I first met you guys on the Battleship? Was he living with you at that time?
No, they don't live about 5 minutes from me.
Oh, okay. That's why I was thinking that, apparently.
I take him pretty much everywhere with me, though.
Yeah. -3 degrees, Art said, and he's somewhere in Colorado. I don't know where you're at in Colorado, Art. Where are you at? 3 inches of snow, -3 degrees. Man, Texas homes would not deal with that.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to Colorado in May, so we won't have snow then, I hope, unless we go to Pikes Peak again.
Garnett looks like he's busy working on something.
No, just checking my text messages.
Oh, you got work coming up?
I think I have to do a radar job tomorrow. That's going to suck balls.
Yeah, up there in the wind, on top of everything.
Yes.
Oh, he's he's northwest of Denver. Arvada. Never heard of that one. But I'm not really a map guy either. So what was I going to say? See, this happens when you get old. Tom probably has those moments already.
Oh, yeah.
Now and then. So I was watching, I don't have the video of it here. I was thinking actually I'd do a reaction video on it, but I was watching YouTube today and I ran across this video. You remember the little green army men that we used to all play with when we were kids?
Yes.
It's if you want to watch it, you can look up Green Army Men, and there's several of them, but they're action videos made with Green Army Men, and they're freaking hilarious. Somebody has done what you and I were talking about, Garnet. When the kneeling down guy with the M16 is shooting, he's got fire coming out of his barrel. When the machine gunners are shooting, they've got fire coming out of their barrel and shells coming out of the, being ejected. Whoever did it put a lot of time and effort into it, but it's really fun. It's about 8 minutes long.
That's cool. Yeah, you had the bazooka guy. You had the
the bazooka guys were in it. They were launching their bazookas, and I think
he laid down with the M16.
I think he uses firecrackers. I think for explosions. But it's hilarious. It's great, man. I really enjoyed watching it. Kylie's awake now. I know she is. She joined us last week.
It was like 10 minutes before.
Yeah, I mean, it was really, really late. She's shy, though, I think. She seems to be shy. I ran across this other guy that does, he calls them now and then videos. He lives in the UK. I talked to him about coming on here, which he's not coming on here. The guy's got 200,000 subscribers. Plus he lives in the UK, so this time for him is like 1:30 in the morning. But I told him I'd schedule a special time if he wanted to come on, or if he'd be willing to come on. But he said in the politest way he could, contact me again when you have more subscribers. which I understand that. But anyway, he does what he calls now and then. Well, he's got a lot of videos, but he does shorts, and he calls them now and then. And he has photographs of something done in World War II, and then he goes there currently and takes a picture of the exact same thing, and then blends the two together. I've got some of his loaded up. The music's kind of janky because I cut them and spliced them, and I left his music in there. And I could have just cut his music out and put in something of mine that would have worked better. But I just cut some of his up and put them together, so the music kind of skips here and there because of my cuts. But let me play one of those for you because I just love these things. Now, I got to say, I'm just a little bit jealous of his ability to be able to do that because I don't know how he hunts up those spots. I don't know how he finds those spots. I know the UK is, or wherever he's getting this at. He lives in the UK, but those are probably from France or somewhere. But how he digs those spots up, I don't know. The areas are much, much smaller than the United States, obviously, but how do you find a spot like that just from an old photograph that's 70 or 80 years old? I don't know how he does it, but I'm really hooked on his channel, I'll tell you that, because he's got some long content also of actual video of back then and video of the same place now, and he kind of plays the two overlapping to where you can see now in the background, but you can see what was going on in the video during the war. It's really awesome. The history.
Well, I'd say a lot of his is he's in Europe and they teach more of actual specific locations.
Yeah, they do that. And they teach more of the war than we do here anymore. Matter of fact, they probably respect our soldiers from back then more than a lot of folks here do.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately. But he did kind of inspire me because trying to decide if I want to say that on here or not because somebody might steal the idea.
Yeah.
I'll just text it to you later, Garnet.
Okay.
And Tom. And
All righty.
And Christopher, if you want to know.
Sure.
But anyway, Art. Let's see what Art has to say here. We've got 7 people. You guys let us know who's here and what you're drinking. I got A&W in a tall boy today. Hey, never seen it in a tall boy. When I saw that, I had to get it.
Water.
No cheap wine.
Sweet tea.
Unsweet. I'm sweet enough.
Unsweet enough. You're drinking unsweet tea, Christopher?
No, sweet tea.
Oh, sweet tea. Okay.
Yeah. Leaded stuff.
Yeah, the high octane.
No, that's in the fridge.
Catskills Brad. Hey, how you doing, Catskills? Sorry, I just now noticed you there. You blend in with all those art codes. Who else is with us? Kylie is not. Kylie, I hope you watch this, Kylie, because I'm going to mention your name every 10 minutes or so and tell everybody that you're not with us.
I don't think you can guilt her out.
I don't think so either, but it'll be fun.
Probably not.
So I have not been able to get down to the battleship to do any droning for 3 weeks now, maybe. Yeah, about 3 weeks, which really pains me, especially since they've done painting and I've not been down there since they painted it. Garnet's got some awesome stuff from when they painted it.
Yes, it does.
But there hasn't been much change in 2 weeks at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I really hope. Michael Shelby made it for a few minutes. I appreciate you making it by, Michael. Once they put it back, I hope we can find out when they're putting it back in the water in February, and I hope I'm off that day because if I'm not off, Garnet's going to scoop me on it, unless he's working too.
Well, if we can get a solid future date, I'll make sure that I'm off, but I need to know pretty soon.
Yeah, I know. They don't give good solid future dates. They kind of keep everything a mystery.
Yes, they do.
It's kind of the fun of it.
I've already told my office, with at least a day's notice, I'll be gone.
Yeah, they're going to go back in the water and go into one of those. I know you guys know this, but go back. Whoever's watching may not. They're going to go back in the water and just keep it docked right there at Gulf Copper while they replace the deck, replace the deck guns, and do more internal work on it. Last I read on their Facebook page, they suspect that it will be going to Pier 21 in late 25 or early 26. They haven't started any construction. Last time I was there, Garnet, you might have seen construction, but they haven't started any construction on Pier 21 yet, and that's going to be a lengthy process, I would think.
Very long.
What's it going to take to put those pilings in when they do that?
I don't know. I tried to be out there when they were taking them out. They're built in sections. I think each one is in 3 sections, maybe 4. But because I did see them in sections, but I wasn't out there when they were taking them out. So I don't know how they got them out. They had some large cranes out there. I hate to think they just pulled them out, because if they could just pull them out, I mean, couldn't the ship move them?
They probably drive them in the ground. They probably drive them in.
Yeah, that's what I would think too.
Well, the lakes around here, when they extend a pier out into the lake, they'll take a compressor, put a fine nozzle on it, and stick the air hose underwater, and they force all the bottom sediment up. Then they stick the post in there. Then they let it come back and put itself back around it, and it locks that thing in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about how they do the docks around here.
It just doesn't seem like that would hold a battleship.
Yeah, they'll probably go 100 feet down, though. They'll go in deep.
Oh, you think it'll go that deep?
That's how they do the offshore rigs out there.
Do they?
They set the jackets down, then they drive the pilings down, and they go hundreds of feet. I don't know.
The New Jersey is much faster than the Texas. Well, I say much faster. In lingo of ships, she's much faster. She's still not fast, but the New Jersey's faster.
Well, it's 200,000 horsepower.
Yeah. I think it's about, I want to say 7 to 8 knots faster.
Yep.
And I don't know what that translates into in miles per hour. I don't know. But Alexa does. Alexa, how many miles per hour is 7 knots?
15. 7 knots is about 8.1 miles per hour.
About 8 or 9 miles an hour faster than Texas.
My Alexa answered you too.
Oh, did she?
Sometimes my podcast will do that. One of my podcasters will be like, he started saying Madam A because he's like, I know, because he get emails from everybody saying that they set their Alexas off.
It happens watching TV sometimes too. Somebody will say a word and Alexa will be like, I don't know how to say that. Or whatever.
Yeah, mine sometimes just start talking about stuff when I didn't say her name.
Yeah.
So if they're listening to me all the time, they're wasting their time. I got nothing important to say.
Alexa, drop in on Keith.
Except when I talk about Garnet being a spy, they may.
To learn about where you can drop in, just say, Alexa, drop in.
You're not dropping.
Yep.
They're not connected. Michael Shelby, under tow. Yeah. I don't know how fast it was. Do you guys remember how fast they said the tow was? I want to say 4 knots.
It was pretty slow.
Yeah. That would have been 5 or 6 miles an hour, I guess, if I remember Alexa's answer right. So let's see what else I got queued up here. Christopher sent me this picture, which was an awesome picture. I sent it to you guys in text, but let me show it real quick for these guys that are on here and may not have seen it. And when Christopher shared it with me, I thought, wow, I've never realized these shells were this big. I looked up Of course, we know Texas couldn't go that far, but I looked up New Jersey, and that's exactly how far New Jersey went, 29 miles. Only she wasn't throwing a shell that big, obviously.
Wow. You could hit Galveston from here.
Yeah, you could.
It's crazy.
Well, it's falling harder now.
Yeah, I think I hear it.
Yeah, it's the snow.
You can hear snow falling?
Yes.
That's crazy. Snow's quiet.
Well, it's bouncing off the trees, and
Is it ice crystals or snow right now?
I don't know.
You don't have to go look.
Oh, I'm already outside. It's quieter out here. Yeah, it's ice crystals right now.
You're sitting outside doing this?
Yeah, it's loud in the house. I got a 10-year-old.
In whatever it is, 20-degree weather, you're outside?
Yeah, I got my sweatpants on, then I got my overalls on, and like 3 other layers.
God dang, you are a hillbilly, man. Those guys, when I lived out there was that one guy. He was an old guy wearing blue suspenders. He's probably dead now. But he sold illegal moonshine at the side of the road.
Yeah.
He'd been arrested I don't know how many times. He had tattoos all over him, and he looked pure 100% hillbilly. But does anybody still sell that? He'd sell it.
I got a guy.
Yeah. Oh, I don't want none.
He's got a guy.
But he'd sell that stuff at the side of the road. He'd be there like 15 minutes and then gone.
Yeah.
But they'd always catch up with him.
My youngest daughter's, one of her friends' mother makes their own in their garage, and they just bring it to me when I want it.
Yeah.
That's the gut rot stuff.
Yeah, it's about 140 proof stuff, so it don't take but a couple sips.
-2 degrees in Illinois, where Michael is. Is it Illinois or
in Canada? He said it's -38.
Who did?
I've got a friend that moved to Canada.
Oh, Canada, -38.
God. I wouldn't be outside for that.
No, that right there would kill a fella. I watched Art. I was trying to think of something I saw on your channel. Now I can't remember it, but like I said earlier, that's where that old age kicking in. No noise. What do you mean noise? You mean talking? No sound? I've been accused of being noisy, usually from a wife.
Me too. Oh, it's really coming down now.
So I don't know if Tom or Garnet, I don't know exactly how old you guys are. So you may and may not remember this. When I think I was 19, there was a Japanese soldier who was still conducting war on an island. Japan had multiple soldiers that conducted war for years after the war's end because they didn't know the war ended. But this guy, it went to 79, I want to say. He lasted till 1979, killing people on the island, stealing food. He'd started with him and 2 other fellas. The other fellas had been killed off over the years by police officers or villagers or whoever killed them. They were killed off over the years. And this guy's name was Enodo. But I remember when they found him, or not when they found him, but because they always knew he was there, but he wouldn't come out because he was not believing the war was over. But I remember when they found him, I think I was 19. But the reason I remember is because of what all my uncles were saying about the guy. And, he was still conducting war, and whether it's good or bad, they were saying stuff where they wished they could go visit the guy and still conduct war themselves. But anyway, I am going to play you guys a video of this guy coming out of the jungle. To get him to come out, they had to find his commanding officer during World War II and get that guy to go to the island to get him to come out and surrender. And it doesn't say so in this video because I picked a short video to play, but I watched a 9-minute video on it where the president of the Philippines, because it was a small island, but it belonged to the Philippines. The president of the Philippines gave him a full pardon for everything that he had done. So anyway, let me play this short video. I think it's like 2 minutes long of them talking him into surrendering.
This is the moment in March 1974 when Lieutenant Hiro Onoda finally walked out of the Philippine jungle, 29 years after the end of World War II. For nearly 3 decades, he had resisted all attempts to persuade him the war was over. Leaflets were dropped from the air, messages broadcast over huge megaphones, all to no avail. Finally, his wartime commander flew to the Philippines, walked into the jungle, and ordered Lieutenant Onoda to surrender. Many years later, he explained why he'd resisted so long.
Every Japanese soldier was prepared for death, but as an intelligence officer, I was ordered to conduct guerrilla warfare and not to die. I had to follow my orders, as I was a soldier.
In Tokyo, Lieutenant Onoda was met by huge cheering crowds, and at the bottom of the steps, his elderly father and mother. The last time they'd seen their son, he was 22 years old. Now, he was 52. Onoda's surrender made headlines around the world, and he was welcomed home as a hero. But the Japan he returned to had completely changed. The emperor was no longer the god that he had promised to die for, and Tokyo had become a massive metropolis of 20 million people. He didn't like it at all. A year later, he headed to Brazil, where he bought a cattle ranch. But he came back to Japan often, and at 90, he was still teaching school children his secrets of survival. Lieutenant Onoda was the last relic of another age. To some a fanatic, but to many more a hero. Rupert Wingfield-Hayes, BBC News in Tokyo.
Amazing, that guy was dedicated. I looked him up after watching all these videos. He died in 2014. So he was around a while, but wow, that guy was dedicated.
You'd think he'd be more than a lieutenant when they finally retired him.
Matt, can you imagine that back pay?
That's what I was about to say.
That's how he bought that ranch.
Yeah.
Still no Kylie.
Maybe he's the one of us hiding out them 3 guys that escaped from Alcatraz.
Yeah.
That's where they went to, or 2 of them they know was in Brazil. They don't know where the other one went.
Oh, did they really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a documentary out. They've got proof. They got pictures and everything of them 2 brothers in Brazil in the 1970s.
Kylie got called into work.
Do what?
Kylie said she got called into work.
Hey, why didn't she tell me that?
She did. Check your messages.
Oh, there she is right there. Man, why is this thing not dinging?
It's an iPhone, that's why.
I got what called it working really nice. I'll be a no-go for this one. She got my package yesterday. I sent her all the letters that I bought. I think I said that last time, but I sent her all the letters that I bought to convince her to do that part of the live stream. Let's see what's going on in comments. No noise. Tom, Garth, Art, Brad, Chris, Mike. Mark White. What's up, buddy? Mark White. Styling and profiling. Oh, styling and profiling just dropped in. We got to do this for styling and profiling.
Some Ric Flair.
Showtime! Woo, woo. Woo, 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 woo. and profiling. Stop! We can't take it anymore.
That's styling and profiling. I don't know who he is. He made a comment on one of my videos one time, and I replied back to him. I said, "Obviously, you're what I don't remember exactly what I said, but something along the lines of obviously you're a Ric Flair fan, because that was one of Ric Flair's sayings or whatever you want to say, catch lines, styling and profiling."
They just showed Ric Flair on the Monday Night Football down in Tampa Bay.
He's a really old dude now.
Yeah, he don't look nothing like that.
No. He wrestled for a long, long time, probably beyond the years that he should have physically. Even though it's fake. I mean, everybody knows it's fake, but
you can't fake jumping off that top rope, though.
No, it's rough on the body, no matter where it's fake, whether it's fake or not.
And you got to learn how to fall and land.
Yeah, and I used to have, when I would talk about wrestling at work or to other people or whatever, they'd tell me, that stuff's fake, man. Why you watch that stuff? And my answer was always the same. I would pause for a few minutes and I'd say, "Did you ever see E.T.? You remember that E.T. movie?" "Oh yeah, I've seen that a couple times." I said, "Really? You don't believe it, do you?" "No, it's entertainment. That's why I watch wrestling." But I don't watch it anymore because it's become more of a drama show now than it is wrestling.
It is.
So I used to go to the ones that they have here in Dallas. Of course, they had the Sportatorium here in Dallas for years and years. And you could sit in the back and you would hardly watch the wrestling match. You'd watch the people in the first 5 rows.
Yeah.
So they knew it was real. You couldn't pass it off on anybody, but watching them was the entertainment.
My uncle who got left behind when MacArthur left the Philippines. That's where that flag that is blurred out came from. He had that in the Philippines with him. It's a 48-star flag. But he is the one that got me and my 2 brothers into wrestling. He used to take us when we were tiny little guys. Back then it was Houston wrestling with Paul Bosch. And man, we really loved going to wrestling. Of course, we thought the world of our uncle too. But we loved it. Every time he'd come to town to visit, he'd take us to wrestling. And nowadays, wrestling travels around the country. But back then, it was the same place all the time because it wasn't big and famous and popular and money like it is these days.
It was part of the regional wrestling.
Yeah.
My cousin is dating Carrie Von Erich's ex-wife.
No kidding.
Yeah, the Texas Tornado.
Yeah, I know him. Well, I don't know him, but I know of him. That could be a dangerous thing. It's an ex-wife, but still, sometimes people don't give up on exes.
Yeah.
So many of those guys have died at young ages from heart attacks from all the steroids they pump these days.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I went on a date with Lorena Bobbitt's husband's brother's ex-wife.
Lorena Bobbitt? Wait a minute. Say that again. Lorena's Bobbitt. What?
Lorena Bobbitt's husband's brother's ex-wife.
Oh man, that's close.
Woof.
That's close.
She was here in hiding because she's in a big lawsuit with Ron Jeremy. You can't make this shit up.
That sounds good. Styling and profiling. I'll look for that email.
Yeah, I didn't go out with her again.
Yeah, let me. You want to hear a joke about Lorena Bobbitt? Of course you do.
Okay, let's hear it.
So here's the joke. Does everybody know what, Christopher? You probably don't know who Lorena Bobbitt is.
Okay.
So she is a woman. Probably he's too young.
I'm only 30.
She was. It might have happened when you were real young. I don't remember the year it happened. But she found her husband cheating on her. So in the middle of the night, she got a butcher knife, lifted it up, whacked it off. And she bobbed it. Whoop, bobbed it right off. So anyway.
You talking about what's her name? The wrestler?
No, nobody there was wrestling. We skipped. No. We jumped conversation.
Yeah, but it gets better. Then she gets in her car and leaves and throws it out the window on the side of the road.
Yeah,
they've got a movie about it now.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I was like,
and
I remember hearing about the Xena, the lady that played Xena.
Oh yeah, I don't know her name.
Pulled her husband's junk off.
What?
Yeah.
She was hot.
She was hot. Apparently she was mean too. So yeah, here's the Lorena Bobbitt joke. Because she threw it at the side of the road. They found it and reattached it. I don't know if it took or not. Doesn't matter for the story. But here's
made a video.
Huh? Played a video. No, I didn't make a video of this one. The joke is that, she cut it off and she's driving down the road, holding it in one hand, driving with the other, thinking, what am I going to do with this thing? They're going to catch me with it. It's going to be obvious who did this. So she tells herself, well, I'll just throw it out the window and so many cars will run over it, they'll never even find it. So she's going one way on the freeway, another car is going the other way. The couple in the car are talking about all the bugs that are hitting on their windshields and stuff. Bunch of mosquitoes, June bugs, all kinds of bugs hitting the windshield. And the guy is complaining about it. So Lorena Bobbitt comes up close to him, passes him up, throws it out the window, and it comes slowly towards the other car's window and splats on the windshield. And the girl sitting next to her husband driving says, wow, that was a big bug. And the husband says, you think the bug was big? Look at his dick.
Oh, good God. I think you told us that joke when me and the boy, everybody else was kids.
I probably did. Treadhead Pete. Hey, Treadhead Pete. What's up, buddy? Michael Shelby. So what did the ambulance driver say to Mr. Bobbitt? What did he say to Mr. Bobbitt? Punchline to follow.
I hope so. I'm waiting.
Yeah, me too.
Won't be long now.
Good God.
Man who walks through airport metal detector going to Bangkok.
I was watching a video today. I can't even remember who it was, but it was a man and a woman arguing. It was one of these, somebody's holding a phone up, recording it type of videos. Man and a woman arguing. And she said, I don't remember what she said, but anyway, he said, why don't you just shut up your cock pocket?
Well, he wasn't getting done after that.
I don't think it was his wife. I think it was just some crazy woman on the street.
Sure wasn't Ron White.
That does sound like something Ron White would say, don't it?
I think it was actually one of his jokes he was telling on stage. I was watching a video of it the other day of Ron White, and he was telling that joke.
He called it a cock pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet that's where the guy got it from then. I'm surprised your sweet tea is still liquid.
Well, it ain't that cold out here. It don't stay full very long.
Do y'all have a wood burning stove?
No.
No, man, I loved my wood
I want one. but she won't let me put one in the house. She's got COPD, so it's not not a good idea for her.
Yeah, that could be an issue. That's a shame. Of course, you could put in a gas one.
Yeah.
Save you a bunch of wood chopping.
That's true. I just cut it with the chainsaw. It's easier.
I got one more thing to play here. It is, Garnet, you missed it last time. It's about a strange weapon is what it is. Last time we had, or I had one, the Russians in the 50s had built a flying submarine. It was the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen. Well, compared, not more ridiculous than this one, but it was ridiculous. But they actually built the thing. It only went 115 miles an hour in the air. And how fast was it in the water, Tom? 3 or 4 miles an hour or something like that?
Yeah, 3 miles an hour.
It was ridiculous, but they actually built the thing. And then when the Communist Party came into power, they shut it down because it was a draw on their economy. But it was a flying submarine. It's a great idea, but man, didn't work out good for them. So anyway, let me play this one here. This one's from World War I, actually, but it's pretty daggum goofy.
The tank was designed to have a top speed of 17 kilometers per hour. To set the vehicle in motion, the engineers used the engine from a destroyed German Zeppelin. The engine moved gigantic spoked wheels that spanned 9 meters in diameter. The rear roller was significantly smaller, about 1.5 meters. The upper stationary machine gun turret was nearly 8 meters above ground level. The T-shaped hull was 12 meters wide. The Tsar tank was built within the shortest possible time. This was probably due to the enormous budget allocated for the project by the Emperor himself. On August the 27th, 1915, the finished vehicle was run through mechanical tests.
The engines are running. The Tsar tank takes off, successfully breaks a young birch tree with one of its wheels, and keeps moving confidently on a corduroy road, a road made of tree trunks laid across a swamp. However, the moment it goes off the corduroy road and onto boggy ground, the vehicle becomes hopelessly stuck. The rear roller and the tank's tail, weighing almost 40 tons of the vehicle's total weight, gets bogged down in the ground. The tank was skidding hopelessly, and, as far as is known, the attempts to retrieve it failed. The Tsar tank's main flaw was its construction, which later led to failure in its trial runs. The fault lay with irrational distribution of weight, with the vehicle's highest weight being placed at its tail. The Tsar tank project was extremely exotic, even by the standards of World War I, with its revolutions in military art and technology. During that time, many vehicle projects up to hundreds of meters in height were conceived. However, the Tsar tank has remained the biggest combat vehicle in history that was successfully forged in metal and tested.
I just see that thing being a big old target.
Oh, yeah.
Artillery target. But it's interesting to me, all the different things that have been invented to kill other people.
Like the sawdust boat.
Sawdust boat?
Yeah, I think it was World War I. They used sawdust and ice and made ships.
I have heard about that. Oh, I ought to look up one of those. The Tsar tank is really scary to someone who does not have a cannon. Yeah, that's probably true. If you're sitting in the trenches with your 8mm Mauser or your Mauser or whatever it might have been, yeah, that thing coming at you is probably not a fun sight. You'd probably feel a lot better after it got stuck, though. Tread here.
Oh, somebody went off the road.
You heard somebody go off the road?
Yeah.
Is there ditches out there or just field?
I mean, when you go around the curve down at the bottom of the hill, it's more of a creek bed hole where the creek runs under the road and then into the creek. But it's not really a ditch.
See that
ditch kind of slopes in. This one kind of just like falls off.
See that hat Christopher's wearing? That's that hat that he won on my contest that time. It looked pretty much like that on the front when I sent it to him, but let's see the back. Yeah, it didn't look like that.
Looks like Ben Tennyson.
Looks like a multi-eyed alien.
Yeah, Ben Tennyson off Ben 10.
I don't know Ben 10. I know Red 1010, but not Ben 10. So, you in a house out there, Christopher?
We're in the process of purchasing it.
Oh, okay. So, I know when I lived in Tennessee, the house I was in, we had electric cords that wrapped around the pipes, and you just plug them in during wintertime.
Yeah.
Keep them. Is that what y'all use, or do you use the foam around them?
I use a foam, and then I have a bucket stuffed with hay that I stick over the spigot.
God dang, that's Tennessee right there.
And it's cheaper that way.
A bucket of hay.
Yeah, my light bills
Hey, neighbor, you got your pipes insulated yet? I gotta go buy a bale of hay.
Well, I go through probably during the wintertime 40-ish bales of hay for the dogs anyway.
Are there outside dogs?
Yeah.
They're
big labs.
Yeah.
Lab German Shepherd mix.
So you got like, because it gets cold there every year.
Yeah.
So you got like a little house they live in. You fill it up with hay.
I do. Yeah, and when it gets too cold, I stick them in my shed and plug the heater in.
Yeah. So the doghouse doesn't have like a light overhead to heat or anything like that?
No, they chew the cord.
Oh, wild things. Tom, your dogs are probably inside dogs, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they've got their own bedroom.
Do they really?
Yeah.
That's my plan eventually.
Yeah. They don't stay in their bedroom. Except right now. I got them put up right now.
Garnet, you don't have any pets, do you?
Nope. I travel too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always my hard thing is finding a babysitter.
Yeah, us too. We've got one, well, actually two, that are so old they can't be left overnight. Yeah. One we're going to put to sleep on Wednesday now, apparently, unless that appointment gets changed again because of weather. And the other one's probably about a year away from that.
Well, I got a Chihuahua with your name on it.
Man, that's my kind of dog right there.
He's crate trained. He's house trained. He does like to cock his leg every once in a while, but other than that, he's pretty good.
Man, they bark at everything that moves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Chihuahua.
Tall people especially.
Tampa 3-0 field goal. Yeah, my 2 Chihuahuas I had when I moved back to Texas, I had to get rid of, unfortunately. I'd had those dogs for 6 years. They had seen me through my open heart surgery. When I had my open heart surgery, those dogs would not leave the bed. My wife at the time, Debbie, I don't know if you remember Debbie or not.
I do. I think I'd met her once.
Yeah, she would have to get the dogs and take them outside to use the bathroom, and she'd bring them back in. They'd run right back up to the bed and jump on the bed. And one would lay on the right side of me, and one would lay on the left side of me. And I was in bed for about 2 weeks after my open heart. Seems like maybe shorter. But man, those dogs were faithful. And then when I moved here, I had to get rid of them. Gave them to somebody that I know, but it was really hard to do. I'm one of those people that present company excluded, and my wife excluded, my son excluded, and Kylie excluded. I love dogs more than I do people.
Same here. Same here. I got 3 outside, 2 inside. The Yorkie, she's a little handful. She'll bite your hand off after you feed her.
Y'all have a Yorkie?
Yeah.
We got 2 now. We just, against my better wishes, we just got another one. My wife got one. My stepson breeds them, and my wife got one from her for her birthday, which is Christmas Eve.
Woo!
Used to have a Beagle, best alarm system ever. Yeah, I used to have I had a Sheltie probably 30 years ago. That thing was a good alarm system too. That was a really smart dog.
That's how my Chihuahua is. The door makes a noise.
Yeah. What's her name?
His name's Lucky, and that's the Chihuahua. We actually found him one day about this time last year. He was running up the road covered in shit and smelled like hell. And Robin brought him home. She stopped at the top of the hill because she seen something dart across the road. Brought him home, and I give him a bath in the sink, and he won't leave me alone. I'm his best friend.
You're his savior.
Oh, yeah. I had to hand feed him chopboard ham and turkey because he wouldn't eat nothing.
Yeah.
And the Yorkie, her name's Precious, but her nickname's Vicious.
Wife and I are in separate houses at the moment. Oh, the Husky likes you. I had Husky at one time too, with the blue eyes. Does yours have blue eyes? Over my lifetime, I've had probably every dog known to man except for a Rottweiler, a bully. I've never had a bully.
That's how Lucky is. He's a little Rottweiler. He thinks he is anyway.
Does
my girlfriend's got a Rottweiler laying here on the couch.
A Rottweiler?
Yeah.
Man, that's a huge, huge dog.
Yeah.
Back when I used to do a pest control route, I had a customer with 2 of them, and both of them they loved me to death, but they're such a big dog. These were outside dogs, and they're such a big dog. They'll get you filthy just loving on you. Because these guys' feet were always dirty, and they always wanted to jump up on me and
knock you over.
Yeah, man, they're as tall as me when they stand up.
Yeah.
The Chihuahua you have, is it a short hair or long hair?
Short hair.
Oh, that's my favorite.
He's a fat applehead.
I was going to ask you if you knew, but I was hesitant to ask you. But yeah, they don't make, but there's 2 different kinds: the applehead and a deer face. And the 2 I moved here with, one was a deer face and one was an applehead.
Yeah, he's a little applehead. He's got the markings of he's a black with the brown spots on his eyes and stuff. Looks like a little mini Rottweiler.
Yep. Michael says he loves big dogs in general. I'm a little dog guy. Not too little. About 8 years ago, my wife got the littlest dog I've ever had. She's still alive. She's 8.5, I guess now. She's a full-bred Yorkie, but she's only 3.5 pounds. And she has so many medical conditions because she's such a tiny dog. For instance, when she's sick and she won't eat, you have to put Karo syrup on her tongue to keep her blood sugar up, or else she'll start having seizures. Before that dog, the smallest dog I've had is about 6 pounds. But I'll never have another tiny dog again. It's just too much effort.
Oh yeah.
And Mijo weighs 76, and Jelly Roll weighs about 50 right now. He's 6 months old.
Jelly Roll, I like that name. Who come up with Jelly Roll?
The lady that I got him from in northern Arkansas, her 8-year-old daughter named him. And I told her, I said, well, I'm going to change it when I get there. She said, what do you mean? I said, well, when I see him for the first time in person, the first thing that comes out of my mouth will be his new name. We met in the parking lot, and she opens the door. I looked down at him and just said, Jelly Roll. I couldn't change it. We had a little girl come up to our booth this weekend and wanting to play with him. I said, well, you can get in the kennel if you want to. I let him out and let her. She's about 4 or 5 years old. And she sat there for probably 30 minutes just playing with him. And then she gets up and runs off. Comes back about 5 minutes later with her mother. Mother wants to see Jelly Roll. Said she won't quit talking about him, so I let him out again. I tried to get her to show him in the junior handlers, but she wasn't confident enough to do it yet. So, well, when we go to Arkansas in April, I want you to be ready to do it. I'm going to let you handle him.
Look at this. Michael's got a 110-pound bull mastiff. That's not a dog, dude. That's a horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, horse.
I don't know. It'd be worse feeding it or cleaning up after it.
Yeah.
I think the feeding it, because, I mean, mine, they eat you out of house and home.
Tread had visited people that raised English mastiffs. Had a male that was 260 pounds.
Good God. Raising bulls.
That may not be a dog either. That might be a dragon.
Well, see, the bullies, the XLs, they've got some of them that go close to 200 pounds.
That is humongous.
They're probably 33, 36 inches tall. They're just all muscle and they're really wide.
That is a huge, huge dog. You'd have to buy dog food by the yard from Lowe's.
Yeah.
See, mine eat that raw meat mixed with organs.
Yeah.
It comes in 5-pound rolls. And I pay about $1.60 a pound for it.
Yeah.
And I'll buy 200 to 300 pounds at a time.
Woo, man. You just freeze it?
Yeah. I got 2 separate freezers, and when I run out, I bag it up in 1-pound bags, Ziploc bags, and I refreeze it. Usually takes me about 2 hours to do 30 pounds to separate it all.
Michael says he's got a 12-yard minimum order. Man, that's a lot of material to do something with. Apparently, there's a reason there's no more bears in England. Well, how long we've been going here? Oh, we're over an hour.
Yep.
Can't go no more. People start losing beauty sleep.
Yeah.
Not that it would help any of us, but we don't know
That's
what
why Garnett sits in the dark.
Huh?
That's why Garnett sits in the dark.
Yeah.
Witness protection. I forgot about that.
All right, guys in the chat, I am going to shut this down. I appreciate all you guys coming back. I hope y'all will come back next time making fun of that Mastiff. Okay. That Mastiff still sounds like a dragon to me.
Or a buffalo.
They ban owning
banned
dogs. Why would they do that?
Yeah, politicians. They got to have grimy hands and everything.
They blame the dog for something that the owner is responsible for.
Yep.
Yeah. Cheers, Treadhead. Or where you at, Treadhead? Cheers. You in the UK? And Garnet is gone.
I will see y'all next week.
Yep, I will see everybody next week. Treadhead, next week you can tell us where you're at, buddy. All right, Christopher, thanks for coming on, man. You want to come on next time too?
It depends on if I'm working or not.
Tell you what, I'll send you an invite if you can. Just click on the link. If you can't, then don't.
All right.
Oh, he's in London, Ontario, Canada.
Oh, it's cold there.
Man, it's cold up there. They get real weather up there. All right, guys. I appreciate everybody in the chat. I appreciate everybody. Tom, Garnet, who's gone. Christopher. Appreciate it, everybody. And we're going to close with old Tom here.
And that's all I have to say about that.